Welcome, everybody, to night number 2 of the Virtual Velocity Racing powered by Chop Shop. Well, I guess it's not powered by Chop Shop. Chop Shop's race would technically be powered by Virtual Velocity Racing. Anywho, it's sponsored by Virtual Velocity Racing. The owner, the guy's name's Tim Lee. Description in the link to their Facebook is down in the description. The description of their league is in Facebook in the description. Now, I am all over the place. Sorry about that. They normally run a Cup Series league on Thursdays, with the session normally opening up at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time with a 5-minute qualifying session. They start racing at 8:25 Eastern Standard Time. If you're looking for a Thursday night Cup league, they are who we would highly suggest. Today's track information: 72 degrees outside, 15% humidity, partly cloudy with 3 mile an hour. Looks like it's blowing to the east. The track length is 3.02 miles. The temperature temperature in Italy is 73. We are at IMOLA today. This is the second race of the series, and with me, as always, my partner in crime, Mr. Church. How's it going tonight, sir?
Hey, what's going on, dude? Good day for a race.
Yeah, it's the first thing you notice as these guys are finishing up qualifying here is that the track is narrow. Not a lot of racing surface space for these guys to slam doors. So I don't know how these GTPs are going to get around these GT3s.
Yeah, when I was coming in, I came to the airport and everything. Remember last week, the track had a hotel right on the track. This week here in Italy, man, hotels are hard to find to stay at. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, are you supposed to just pitch a tent and hope for the best? I mean, there got to be some sort of lodging, right?
They're not right at the track, so you got to drive a half hour or so just to, get to the track. I mean, must be an Italy thing or something. I think every road course track should have a hotel.
I mean, what would be cool if they had hotels on infield and like you were a ticket holder and you could just like watch out your window.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't even have to leave your room. You could watch the race from your hotel room. Think about the people and the business those hotels would get if they could just watch it from their room. I mean, I don't know. You can open the window and you can hear them and everything, like right there on the track.
I mean,
anyway, yeah. So, I mean, besides having to drive a half hour to get here tonight, not too bad.
We were listening to the pre-race narrative too, done by Mr. Strickland over the race comms, and since iRacing's bringing water or rain into the series, he was talking about like we will be. It wasn't we're thinking about it. We will be adding a few races this season with rain. How do you think? I mean, what do you think these guys are going to have to do to like accommodate for that?
And it's going to be a lot slicker. You're going to be hydroplaning and everything like that. It'll be interesting. It'll be you'll have to fight the car a lot more definitely when it's raining. So can't wait for that and to see what these guys can do with that.
Excited. So they are done qualifying. Get the grid up. Ready for us. Ain't ready. It ain't ready. It ain't ready.
It looks like James Pierce got the pole, it looks like, with a 128. Michael Strickland second with a 130.239. Peyton Sweet is third with a 130.815. Michael Wayne Robinson is fourth with a 132.237. Chris Roberts is fifth with a 133.385. Steven Salas is sixth with a 134.435. Gene McClune is seventh with a 142.120. David Steiner is eighth with a 142.394. Michael Caffrey looks like he's ninth with a 143.294. Colby Hartung is 10th with a 143.472. Noah Blackwell is 11th with a 143.609. Anthony Damani, I believe, or it's hard to pronounce his name. 112th with a 144.928. Tyler Hammond 13th with a 145.126. And looks like Mark Retchkin is 14th with a 146.773. And then Nate Biggert and Wesley Strait looks like they didn't qualify. They'll be bringing up the back.
You know, that's a strategy move. We all know it is. So there's only going to be 10 racers, and so the chances of really seeing anything crazy, I think, is probably out the window. Other than driver error, these GTPs, obviously, there's a lot more of them. But 15. Apologize, I can't count even.
GT3s, or there's more GT3s than
Or
GTPs.
more, yeah,
right?
more GT3s.
Yep.
First one, starting lineup with James Pierce, Michael Strickland, Peyton Sweet, Mike Robinson, Chris Roberts, Stephen Salas, Gene McClone.
McClune? McClune, I guess.
David Steiner, Michael Caffrey, Hartung, Anthony Damani, Noah Blackwell, Mark Gretchen, Tyler Hammond.
Yeah, next week I'll make sure to get with Anthony and Gene and make sure we get clarification on that last name pronunciation.
We're going racing, son. Here in
green.
Italy, we are green. The GTPs just tore off. GTPs are not going to be far behind them. And James Pierce is going to jump out into a lead already, and behind him will be trailing Michael Strickland, which behind him is busy. It looks like he's slowly getting some speed. We have a car getting in a little trouble back there, but that ain't no big deal. They'll work their way up. Who was that? That was Sweet. Peyton Sweet got a little squirrely there for a little bit.
Yeah, farther back here. They're past it now, so you don't need to go to it. But it looks like when they come around that corner, you know what? And I don't even know the names of these corners. I can't pronounce them, so I don't want to butcher them. But it looks like when they turn that corner, 99% of the drivers went off into the grass. I don't know if it's just swinging out wide or what, but they all made it through.
Yeah, I got us up on the blimp view right now because that's really that's the best view you can get with as much bang as you can get. It's hard seeing a lot of the, I mean, there's trees everywhere. I mean, it's hard even seeing, you know, the next corner. So, I mean, I'm assuming if we were on track, which we're not, that there would be a lot of blindside turning here. So, I mean, these drivers are going to have to beware, and they're going to have to brake early and try to keep it on the track.
Yeah, for sure. It must be this track or something. It looks like a majority of the corners are all swinging out wide where they're going off into the grass. It looks like a little bit. Just might be how these corners are. I might want to keep an eye on that because that might be, you know, a lot of spin outs or something later on. You'd think that grass would be slick.
Yeah, back here between Caffrey and Biggert, I mean, these Biggert's pressuring him. Well, I say that, and then Caffrey takes off, so now Caffrey's making an inside move under the 24 there. Retchen, he's one of taking that position. So is Biggert. Looks like he slowed down a lot for that last corner. Blackwell even got around him even. That's, for some reason, he's falling back early already. No reason that I see other than maybe Retchen's just trying to stay out of the trouble of things.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like a lot of good racing between the GT3s. Looks like they're just doing kind of staying in line for the GTPs so far. So,
you know, I wanted to show this. I want to go inside of Caffrey's car. If you go in the cockpit, it looks like he has a GPS with a giant camera on there. It's awesome. Have you seen this thing, dude?
I haven't. I'll have to check this out.
Oh, the viewers at home, you're gonna love it, dude. It's like a GPS, like a big screen in the middle there, and it's this rear view camera. So it's really cool to sit in this cockpit.
Are there like certain cars that have that screen, or is the majority of the GT3s have that screen?
Oh, He has. Gene has one. Colby has one, I guess. Anthony
Majority
has.
of them have the
Anthony.
lead reel.
So they're different designs, really.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
if you look at Noah Blackwell's car, it's like hanging from the roll cage. You know, it's pretty sweet. That would I'm happy I don't run any of those.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't make the first corner, but I mean, I'll just stick to dirt, and I'm dipping my toe in asphalt, so hopefully we'll do something there. Anyway,
go for it.
James Pierce is leading. Michael Strickland is second. Michael Wayne Robinson's third. Steven Salas is fourth. Christian Bears is fifth. Peyton Sweet is sixth. That top six right there was all GTP cars. Seventh is Gene McClune in a GT3. Eighth is Michael Caffrey. Ninth is Kobe Hartung. 10th is Anthony Damani. David Steiner is 11th. Noah Blackwell 12th. 13th, Nate Biggert. Mark Retchen is 14th. Tyler Hammond 15th. Wesley Strait 16th. And that is your field.
They're all in line, man. It's come on, guys, let's get going. Let's see some awesome.
Yeah, the GTP, the first six cars, they're all just cruising. They're going to be a lot faster, more than the GT3s. So I'm interested to see throughout this race if we get any cars that spin out. Nobody's really spun out yet.
I tell you what, we're on board with James Pierce right now. And this guy has a huge gap. Obviously, he can see in his rear view, see that, Stryker's not pressing him at all. And he's driving it like Stryker's right on him. Like, he has this giant lead, and the cat's driving like his life depends on it. It's awesome.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right. Well, for that, Trent's going to be right back. So we're going to keep cycling through the field here. Let's see what Stryker's doing. Let's see how hard he's running. He's pushing, but it doesn't seem like he's pushing nearly as hard as Pierce. He needs to maybe he has some sort of strategy. Find out as the time goes down. We're on board with Noah Blackwell right here from the blip view, and he got Nathan Biggert on his heels, and he is trying to reel in Anthony Damani. So these three drivers they're all keeping about the same distance, but you'll see one brake check in the corner, then the next one, and they're all just pushing as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry about that. I had to I brought my daughter to the track with me, and so I had to help her there. But she loves racing too. But anyway, Italy. We're in Italy. What's your favorite Italian food?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
100% spaghetti.
For sure. If you had hot sauce, spaghetti's where it's at. You ever had that, what's that restaurant called? Pretty popular. Olive Garden?
Oh, yeah. Is that real Italian food, though?
I don't even know if it's Italian food, honestly. But I wondered if that originated in Italy or not. I don't know.
You're the facts guy, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, speaking of which, the last race, a fun fact. The last race they had here in F1 was Max Verstappen. He was the winner, and that was in 2022. I'll have to look here, but they didn't race here for a while. They quit racing here. Until they reinvented or redid the track completely. And then they just started coming back. I'll have to get the years for you. But, yeah, fun fact there.
As we watch Biggert take Anthony Damani on the outside to claim that 12th position. Biggert right now is up 3 positions. He's the man on the move right now. We're going to have to keep an eye on him as he keeps rolling up through the field in that Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, for sure. You can never count Nate out. It doesn't matter if it's a road car, an asphalt car, or even a dirt car. Nate's a pretty good wheelman.
I don't know. I can't remember what happened last week, but he was up in front. Then he started in the back, went up front, and then I think he ended up in the back again, or maybe like mid pack. So maybe he burned his stuff up. But from what I've been told, these road courses, the tires don't wear as much as a typical oval track because they're not constantly putting pressure on the same tires over and over and over and over and over again. So they can't get to a certain temp to wear as fast as they normally would on
Right. They're wearing, they're wearing all different because you're making right and left turns. You're making sharp turns. You're making not so sharp turns. Unlike or like oval, you're always turning left and not so much. I mean, so you're always wearing that same spot out on the tires. Yeah, tires. I thought would make a big factor in road racing, but I guess they really don't.
I mean, I would have thought the exact same thing, to be honest with you. As we see Pierce go around bigger, almost got in trouble there. He's going to dive under Blackwell right there and chase after Hardtongue as he's going through the field right now. I mean, this guy's. What do we say about Pierce, man? Like, the guy's a wheelman.
He is. He is. That's his niche, is road racing, and yet to find a track. We're only on week number 2 of the season, so I'm kind of curious to watch throughout the season if there's any tracks that he's not good at, I guess you could say, or has problems with, because I'm yet to see one.
I mean, I'm just watching right here. He's about to blow the doors off Caffrey coming into this corner. He's going to dive it in deep. Oh, it's a chicane, and he's just going to get right back on it. He's going to set his sights on the chain up ahead.
Not sure. I heard Stryker over the radio there. He said sorry to Mark Rich, and I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if they got into each other, but looks like they're still going.
Oh yeah, we're back here with Stryker right now, and it looks like he's trying to find a way to get around Tyler Hammond. As he does, he just takes the inside. I think next corner here. But let's pull up the map. We'll see.
I'm not sure if Tyler Hammond had an off track or not, but I seen that he fell back a little bit, and it looks like the lap car, they went around him, maybe possibly the lap down, but I don't know if he had an off track. But I'll tell you what, man, everybody, there's only 6 cars on the lead lap already.
Well, I mean, it doesn't take long for these GTPs to get up speed and get around. I mean, you're talking an extra 150 horsepower compared to the GT3s. I personally think it'd be cool if you had an entire field full of GTPs and just let everybody go at it, man.
All GTPs, yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, so you were talking about Retchen going off. Let's go back to that, see where he went off at. I don't see a Striker around him.
I don't know if they ran into each other or what the deal was there.
Oh, he just overshot the corner. We got Noah Blackwell. Who's he chasing? Colby Hardtongue. He's on Hardtongue's rear end and slowly reeling him in.
Mike Robinson running third in that GTP car. I believe last week he finished third, didn't he? It was between him and Peyton Sweet and James Pierce, I believe, was the top 3.
Yeah, because we only pulled up the top 2 to interview afterwards, and he was like the special guest for that week.
Right. But everybody's pretty, I'd say, cruising. Not seeing a whole bunch of action going on currently, but looks like we have, I believe that's Wesley Strait in 15th.
He's back here just hanging out, man. Hanging out behind Tyler Hammond, trying to work his way up. He's up 1 position. Retchen's down 2. The biggest mover of the race still is Nathan Bigger and the GT. we're still back here watching Noah Blackwell work on Colby Hartung. Neither one of them's advanced in position at all, but Colby has his hands full right now with that Lamborghini hot on his heels.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Noah gains some on Colby each corner, and then he gets on the straightaway and kind of falls back a little bit. But see if he can make the pass here. Looks like we got Nathan Biggert coming up on Noah Blackwell, as well as Colby Hartung. So maybe keep an eye on that.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of his car. I don't. It's just red and yellow.
There you see Mike Robinson going by Noah Blackwell and getting ready to go by Colby here in that GTP car.
Crazy how fast these cars are.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you'd think Lamborghini, and you'd think, man, those things are fast. But then you put it up against the GTP, and it's crazy. It's mind-blowing.
Well, I mean, it's like putting a V8 engine versus a V6. Or maybe that's a bad acknowledgement. V8 or V12 versus V8 power. That looks like 8 speed, I think.
I got another fun track fact.
Oh, you got fun. You got some little breaking news. Hey, let's bring it up, bud.
Not so much breaking news, but it's fun track fact. The first race here was held in 1980. I would have thought it had been a lot longer than that, but no, 1980 was the first race here at IMOLA. The lap record is 1 minute and 15 seconds by Lewis Hamilton in a Mercedes, and that was back in 2020.
Of course it was. Who else would? It doesn't.
And then I said it earlier, in 2022, Max Verstappen won in the Red Bull car. Was the latest here at IMOLA. A little bit of fun facts.
I like the fun. I think everybody likes the fun facts.
Everybody loves the fun facts.
Everybody loves the fun facts.
Not so much any breaking news right now that I see on track, but
I pulled up
we'll
your
have
screen
some.
anyways.
All right, that'll work. Yeah. I guess you could say breaking news for the lap record, but
Let's go. Let's look at the intervals here. I want to see the difference that Stryker and Pierce have. I mean, Stryker is just slow compared to Pierce. 1.6 lap 6, 4.2 lap 7, 4.6 lap 8. I mean, Pierce is pulling 4.6-ish a lap, Stryker. I mean, dude's just an alien. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. His last lap time was 129.74 compared to Stryker's, which was 131.93. So I mean, that tells you the difference right here. That I mean, clearly this guy is obsessed with cars.
not sure what happened to Gene. Not sure what happened to Gene McClune running 7th, but he does not sound happy on the radio. So something happened. I'm just not sure. Haven't seen anything. I'm on him here, but something went down. He's not happy.
I mean, that's no one wants to have to deal with stuff like that, and whatever it is, and tempers have typically flare up, and when the racing's over, you kind of sit back and you're like, maybe I got a little too upset.
Yeah, for sure. We still got 6 cars in the lead lap, with Chris Robert being the last car in the lead lap.
Oh, Robert!
Yeah. James Pierce, Michael Strickland, Mike Robinson, Peyton Sweet, Steven Salas, and Chris Robert all in the lead lap.
Robert's got that monster here. Kind of chrome, but he does have that Chop Shop TV logo on the hood. You can't go wrong. You know what we should do? Who do you want to pull up here? Who's not busy right now? Let's see. Let's get the driver's thoughts on what's going on down there. Here, let's.
If you want to pull up, okay, I was going to say if you wanted to pull up Gene and see what the problem was there.
Let's get a GTP guy and a GT3 guy. Hey.
Sounds good.
Do that. Hold on. Let's get a blimp. Is a blimp view too much? Oh, we'll put him in the old chopper. Let's put him. Yeah. Basement. Quiet. Michael Strickland, Ryan in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
What's going on, Ryan?
Hey, well, we're sitting here watching. Pierce is pulling on you quite a bit, throughout the lap times. We're just wondering, are you still learning the track? I mean, what's your thought process and feeling down there?
So Pierce is just an alien. I'm not going to be able to keep up with him unless he makes a mistake. For the most part, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to find a groove, getting rhythm. The car generally should come in after a couple laps, but in my case, I'm still learning it. So, for the most part, just trying to stay alive, trying to keep it clean, and then hoping for a James Pierce mistake.
I mean, he's pushing hard. He's not really giving too much when he's going around those lap cars. Are you? We're 14 laps deep into it now. When do you think you're going to start coming alive?
Well, obviously, as the car gets lighter, as I burn more fuel up. I started with a full fuel load. The car was acting a little funny there with a full fuel load. I didn't practice with a larger fuel load, so I think I should be able to run some of my better laps here in these next 5 to 10 laps. We'll see.
Well, we know you're typically what I would like to call a late bloomer. You're slow at first, and then you normally just come out of nowhere, and you got incredible speed. So we look forward to seeing how the laps and times wind down, see what you got.
Appreciate the kind words.
I'll send you back. All right, who now? Pierre or Gene, right? Gene's by himself.
Hey, pull up that breaking news thing real quick.
You got some breaking news, eh?
I've got some breaking news.
All right, let's hear it.
So I'm up here. They came and picked me up in the blimp, so I'm up here in the blimp watching from up above. And there is a football stadium field inside this track. So that's definitely some breaking news. That's cool. You're playing football. Could you imagine playing football while they're racing around this track? That'd be cool.
Where's the football field located? We just drove by it.
Yeah, I got to figure out where I'm at here, but yeah, you can see the lines in the field and everything, and you can actually see the goalposts.
That is sweet. Let's see here. I gotta. So I'm thinking it's down over kind of by the start of the fin. We're going to.
It's Italy too, so it might be for soccer too as well. I guess soccer is football there, isn't it?
I mean,
but I don't know.
Again, it depends on what part of the. There's some houses back there, just off of turn 8. There's some houses on the inside of this track.
I don't know what turn this is, but there's a Hooters right outside there. It looks like
a Hooters in Italy.
I don't know who Hooters is. Hooters is a restaurant. You can get chicken wings and stuff.
Isn't that every man's excuse? I'm going there, chicken wing.
Yeah, no, but
That's awesome.
Here we go. We got Noah Blackwell and Colby Hartung for 10th and 11th. Colby's in 10th, Noah's in 11th. Noah looked to the outside of him and couldn't make the pass, but looks like they are going to be something to watch.
Sure. Dude, Blackwell hasn't given up yet. You would have thought with Colby's experience he would have pulled away already, and he hasn't. So it's intriguing. And, Biggart's still back there too, and Biggart, is typically really good at road courses. He hasn't. Here's the deal. Noah practiced. He did because he is running 1,000 times better than he did last week.
Right. And he needs to hopefully he gets a good finish because he needs to find some sponsors for that car. it looks pretty blank.
Well, he's sitting in 11th, so I mean theoretically it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place for the GT3. Let's go find Gene. Let's find.
Yeah, I'm real curious to see what was going on. I wish I would have known what lap that was, but it was a while back. But he didn't seem happy.
Gene's not in Discord. He cannot.
Okay. We'll have to put a statement out there for the next following races that we need people in Discord, so we can pull them in for driver interviews.
We're on board with Caffrey. Caffrey's just rolling, biding his time. Got GTP coming up behind him. Yep, that's definitely come in. We're gonna get on board with the first here as he tries to make Caffrey.
Caffrey's such a good road racer. Michael Caffrey, that is. He's such a good road racer, but it seemed to bite him. It seems the longer the race goes on, he pushes harder and he messes up. So that looks like a dark cloud that's over his head that happens a lot. So we'll just keep an eye on Caffrey. He's running 8th right now, and he's doing pretty good.
Well, we're all guilty of it as drivers. I didn't even want to bring it up, but just like I did last night, I totaled my truck in 40 laps, and I got greedy, overdrove it, trying to get somewhere. So I could completely relate to Caffrey,
Right.
Mistakes were made. But here recently, he's been doing really well, keeping a cool head, cool, calm, and collected, as I'd like to say, and he's been getting the finishes. Go for it.
It looks like Noah Blackwell possibly. Looks like he spun out by himself.
Oh yeah, we got
sure.
Noah Blackwell and Nathan Bigger crash. Let's go check this out. Speed it up a little bit here. Ooh, it looks like. Let's go back. So it looks like he came into the corner a little hot, tapped the rear end of Colby, and then Nate had nowhere. Oh, Nate went by him, so let's see what Nate's crash considered here. We're going to fast forward a little bit. Oh, so they called Nathan having a wreck just driving by Noah Blackwell as that happened.
Okay. Yeah.
No harm, no foul. He hit the corner a little hard, tapped Colby, spun a little bit. He's back on track, going ape, and Colby's just keeping her straight. Bang bang.
Yeah, for sure. I'm listening to the driver radio, and I know that it don't matter what you're racing, tempers can fly, and driving and trying to do your best, and tempers fly, and it seems like their Gene is not happy, but yeah, you can't be claiming or calling out other drivers. I know you're frustrated, but try to bite your tongue on that.
It would be awesome if we did like a mic'd up session, But I'm scared these guys would say a bunch of stupid stuff. So it's probably not good to have on YouTube while you're streaming.
No. Right. We'll move on from that.
We need to get GT guy up. Let's see who's Nate. Colby's. Let's bring Colby up. Colby's always calm, regardless of any situation.
He's running 10th currently. Let's pull him up.
See what. Get the secrets out of him.
Breaking news. It looks like we got David Steiner in the pits, so running 9th. Not sure what's going on there, but as we see him pit.
Yeah, it looks like he's grabbing some tires. I mean, the car's jacked up. Maybe, hey, maybe the tires are wearing a little bit, and got to keep the freshies on.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. See if we have more people coming in for tires or fuel even.
All right, we're gonna get cold. Make sure he's not moving. Don't want to disturb somebody.
Oh, we have James Pierce. Looks like he got into the back of Mike Robinson, and Mike Robinson was running fourth, and I was right on it when it happened. Turn of events.
Ooh.
James Pierce got into the back of Robinson.
Good call. It does.
Oh, and then we got another car spun out in front of him. It looks like Anthony DeMonte running 12th.
Everybody's just getting into it.
So I wonder if those tires are starting to go. People are spinning out, so but
I mean, yeah, you can see the nose tap right here. Tapping ever so slightly.
It looks like Anthony's back and going on the track running 12th, but it looked like he didn't hit anything. Looks like he just spun out. And, need to watch them tires.
It's barely got into him. That's crazy. Let's check out what happened to Anthony here. He hopped the corner there. That's going to upset the car, so let's see if he drives out of it. Rolling. Oh, he just spun himself.
Oh,
He just drove it in a little deep.
I've got some more breaking news.
We've been on breaking news this whole segment, so
this is a good one.
I like breaking.
Anyway, it looks like Mike Robinson took it to the trailer.
Really?
Yeah, not sure what happened. It looks like he just Pierce spun him out. It didn't look like he had much damage, but he called it a day, it looks like.
Yeah, and Pierce is in the pits right now. Looks like he got some tires, and he's probably getting some damage fixed, which is going to be a huge benefit for Strickland to catch up.
Right. So I imagine it's about time for pit stops. I'm sure we'll be watching these other guys come down. That could shake up the standings.
It very well could have. All right, let's get back. Every time we try to get Hartung up here, something goes down.
We'll have to ask him about pitting and if it's about time to pit.
Oh, and going back to him, it looks like Biggert just got around him. Not sure when that pass was made, but Biggert rode back there behind. Yeah, 4 position. Looks like yeah. Biggert's up 6 positions right now. He has to hunt down Caffrey and Dean, and he'll have first place. So theoretically, in the GT3s, he's sitting in.
The battle on the track for the last 5 laps I've been keeping an eye on is Kobe Hartung running 9th and Nate Biggert running 8th. These guys have been nose to tail for at least 5 or 6 laps. Pretty good racing between the two of them.
I'm scared to pull him up. I don't want to mess Hartung up as he's chasing Biggert. So I don't think it's a wise decision at this point.
And we can wait a little bit and see how this pans out and then get him up here.
You can see him coming out of the corners, car sideways. I mean, he's giving that car everything it has. And right now, the Mercedes is beating the BMW.
Yeah. Somebody we haven't talked about so far really is Tyler Hammond. He's running 15th. He's just chilling out and trying to keep the car clean and, gaining any positions if anybody messes up.
And last week when he raced, he said he didn't have internet when he first started, so they had to rig something up really quick to get it going. So I think he started, if I remember right, 3 laps down, and he got 0 instant points that entire race. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you just put tires on the grass, it'll give you an instant.
Yeah, it looks like we got Peyton Sweet just pulling in the pits right before pit entrance. That corner there looks like he went off track. I watched him go off track, running 3rd, but he's pulling in the pits now.
Yeah, we got Wesley Straight pulling out as he's pulling in, so that's that's going to start stirring some stuff up. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Wesley. He hasn't put his nose in the picture yet, and that's really uncommon for him. He's typically running, top 5, top 10. So it'll be interesting. If maybe he thinks it's time to go now. Maybe these are open setups they run. Maybe his setup just is killing him.
It could be. I'm definitely thinking tires are playing an issue now, as these guys try to get a couple more laps out of them possibly before pitting. But as we see Steven Salas going around Noah Blackwell there, that is not for position. Steven's running fourth. Steven Salas is doing good, running fourth place right now in that GTP car.
Yeah, it's a weird color combination, don't you think? It almost looks like a lollipop out there.
Hey, he wants everybody to see him, so that's a good paint job, nice and bright.
Well, he's sitting in 5th. He's up 1 position. If you want to get on that podium, which our podiums here for interviews anyways are 1, 2, but typically a top 3, he's going to have to move up a couple positions to get there. He's got to get around Chris Roberts first, and Roberts isn't going to give it to him.
No, that Canadian, he's a hard racer. A majority of these guys are. But I'll tell you what, Chris Roberts in oval, he can start in the back and he'll finish towards the front. They named a hard charger award after him called the Chris Roberts Award, and he can pass some cars.
Yeah, and we see Sweet make the pass on him, and Roberts is going to fight hard I believe it's going to be on the inside of this outside of this next corner, and he's not going to get turning once. Oh, no, Sweet overdrives it coming out of the corner, or Salas overdrives it coming out of the corner, and Roberts just couldn't capitalize on it fast enough.
Looks like, Ryan, we have here Wesley Straight back in the pits. I thought he was pulling out earlier, but looks like he's back in for something.
Yeah, I wish he was in Discord. I'd really love to pick his brain right now. What's going on with Straight? There's just something not right, and Pierce just blows right by him. I mean, he's just on a tear, trying to gain that lap time back on Stryker.
Right. Ooh, Tyler Hammond off track and puts her back on. I think he took the corner a little hot, but Tyler's up 1 position at 13th.
Go back and take a gander, shall we? Oh, yeah. Woo! Came in there a little too hot. He was on the brakes the whole time. No harm, no foul. He's back on course. Doesn't even look like it slowed him down any.
Yeah, I think it's a good time we go over the current standings. We got James Pearson first, Michael Strickland second, Peyton Sweet third, Steven Salas fourth. He's having a heck of a run. He started 6th. Chris Roberts fifth, Gene McClune sixth, Nathan Biggert 7th, Kobe Hartung 8th, Michael Caffrey 9th, David Steiner 10th, Noah Blackwell 11th, Anthony is 12th, Tyler Hammond 13th, Wesley Straight 14th, Mike Robinson 15th, and Mark Retchen 16th.
It shows here that Retchen scored above Robinson, but I think Robinson's GTP, isn't he?
Yeah, Robinson was in a GTP, and I believe he is done for the day. There just showed Mark jump him. So, yep, that puts Mark in 15th and Mike Robinson 16th.
And what a bummer that is.
There's 1 car on the lead lap, and guess who that may be?
Michael Strickland.
That's right, Michael Strickland. Keeping it calm and cool and just trying to run down James here, but James is just an animal when it comes to road racing.
Yeah, man, and he's in that teal machine. I mean, tearing through it. I want to talk to guys. Also, we should. I'm almost thinking we should probably bring Tyler back. It looks like he's in the middle of working on Tyler. Tyler's in the middle of working on Anthony Damani, so maybe we'll just hold off a little bit. Anthony Damani's in that light blue teal looking Red Bull machine. That's his ride, folks. He's just chilling in that Ferrari, but that Porsche behind him's reeling him in. He wants some.
Yeah, you can also see James Pierce is starting to catch those two, Tyler Hammond and Anthony. So hopefully he can make a clean pass and they all make it. He can make it around them safely.
Well, we're going to stay on board with these guys, and we're going to see. I mean, it doesn't take James no time to get around these guys. I mean, he's such a skilled driver. He puts the car in a lot of uncomfortable positions for like your everyday drivers, and he just blew those guys' doors off in no time. It's that easy.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we need to figure out something, and we need to have James Pierce start with used tires or something. Maybe give everybody else a little bit of an advantage on him.
Well, Wesley Straight got in an accident.
Oh no!
He just came into the corner, spun out, went back into the sand. He's really struggling on this racetrack.
Yeah, it looked like he's pulling down pits again.
It's probably a good thing he isn't in Discord, because I'm assuming that guy is not a happy camper right now.
Oh, no. He was doing okay, too. And then just bad luck.
Bro, let's cycle up. I want to do a quick little segment here on Robers, because Robers is going to be on my podcast this Friday. We're going to record it. It'll be uploaded later on Friday evening. Me and the Canadians, we're going to have a little chat between the two of us. Not in a bad way, but I'm sure he's not too happy with how I raced him not too long ago, so maybe we'll have to bring that up. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, you can go chop_TV or chop_TV on YouTube. We upload all our videos on there. Another thing, we were talking about ovals earlier. Our main sponsor is Virtual Velocity Racing. They do next gen races every Thursday at 7:30 for practice, 8:25 for the start of the race with a 5-minute qualifying time. If you're interested in checking them out, click on their Facebook group in our description below for Virtual Velocity Racing.
You know, Ryan, I'm looking here. It looks like to me Roberge don't have a spoiler on the back of that car or anything. Not sure if it's just a different kind of GTP car, but I double checked on some of these other GTPs and they have spoilers. His back end just does not look right to me, and I'm not for sure if it was damaged or that's just how that car is.
Well, the best way to tell him, he's running a Cadillac, and so is Stryker. And Stryker does have a spoiler on the back there. So something happened somewhere in this time to where he must have lost the dang thing. So he's on a big disadvantage for having downforce on that rear end.
Yeah, I figured the handling on that car would be a little rough. I bet he's got a handful, which makes for a longer race.
Well, you know, Robers, you know, that guy does not quit. I mean, he's kind of like our very own Gary Culver. No quit in him at all.
He's doing something with that car the way it is. I mean, he is running fifth, so good for him.
I mean, that is last place for the GTPs, unfortunately, but he'll get everything put back together. I don't know if that's damage. I don't think that's damage you can get fixed in the pits, is it?
Not for sure on that. I think. I mean, I don't know. I would think, yeah, you could. I mean, you'd have to spend the time in the pits to get your damage fixed, but I mean, maybe not on these cars. Maybe once you lose it, it's gone. So it looked different to me, and yep, you let me know on that.
Oh, let's go back here. It looks like Tyler Hammond finally gets around Anthony Damani. So, I mean, he's up a good position there. He's up one position. Beggart's up 5 as Colby Hartung just got around him.
Breaking news: we've got Michael Strickland coming out of pits. It looks like. So it looks like he made his pit stop running second. As we got, looks like Caffrey just went around him there. That is not for position, so Strickland's going second.
You know, it's crazy because normally, like we always talk, there's not a lot of tire wear on road courses. You know, we hear it from Nate all the time. He's like, he'll be up leading the race. You know, granted, they're normally in trucks or cup cars or whatever, but he's like, yeah, I'm not getting tires. You don't need them. So it's it's interesting. Maybe these GTPs just chew them up on these road.
Well, I mean, they've been on the track a long time on these tires. Lap 24, and you know, the track's 3 miles long, so that's a long time on those tires.
Very long time. And I mean, there's the gap for James Pierce versus Stryker just continuously grows. This Pierce has no mercy for anybody. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, well, looks like here I'm watching Tyler Hammond and Anthony. Tyler's pulling up on Anthony for 12th and 13th. So
you need to fast forward. You're not live.
Oh.
Help you out a little bit.
There we go. And there, it looks like he got by him.
Yes, sir. Don't worry, I'm guilty of doing that. We're going back and watching replays and then just hitting play thinking it's live instead of fast forwarding.
Right. We're good now.
Yeah, Anthony Damani's been sitting back there after he made the pass, and he can't get that Ferrari back up to that port. And again, man, I'm just gonna say this: DT3, I'm choosing Tyler Hammond for best paint job. DTP, I'm going with Stryker in that nice steel car.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta like the bright cars. I love the bright cars. Mike Stryker would tell you, his crazy bright colors that he uses. You know, like if so people can see him. You know, people can see you on the track, and I guess to help maybe benefit you a little bit from getting ran into.
Yeah, and I mean let's go over there to bigger. It looks like after all the pit stops, Colby got back around him. Caffrey got back around him. David Steiner even got back up around him. And Gene's still holding a nice little lead.
Yeah, with David Steiner, I'm actually kind of surprised. I expected to see him more towards the front. I know the first season in road, he was pretty good. He usually stayed up there with Stryker, Biggert, James Pierce, and all those guys. So I mean, he's not doing bad, but just expected a little bit more from him. Running 8th.
That's all right, man. He's working up. It looks like he has a couple fast laps and then he has a couple slow laps compared to Caffrey. Both Australians. So I'm sure, they'll get everything worked out between them, and they'll just find out who. Or we'll just have a little friendly war of interstellar Australian war between the two Aussies here.
For sure. Chris Roberts just went down. He currently just pulled in his pit box. So running 5th, and Chris Roberts is pitting for tires, I'm guessing.
Well, let's see if he can't get that spoiler back on there. I mean, this track takes roughly 1 minute 28 seconds. It is back, so I'm sure he's going to be extremely happy with these next 30 laps or so if that's how far they get. I'm sure he'll be extremely happy.
Yeah, I'm not for sure how long he went without a spoiler on track, but it sure will look like a long time because every time I panned to him, the car looked like that. So I bet he had a handful for probably 20 laps.
Stryker blows by Anthony Damani. He's just going. It's just crazy how fast these GTPs are, and I'm personally not a fan of having 2 different classes on one track myself, but it does make for some very interesting racing, and they do this in real life. Can you imagine watching this in real life and just getting the full? How they can't communicate, so these guys would just have to get around them some way somehow.
Right. I believe I'm not sure if they only do it when it's dark, but they flash their headlights and let the guy know that, hey, I'm going to be passing you. You know what I mean? Like, truckers do the same thing. Semi drivers, like when you pass a semi, the guy that gets passed flashes his headlights and lets the other driver know, hey, you're good to merge over. So maybe it's kind of the same philosophy. I'm not for sure.
As James Pierce overtakes Anthony Damani and Roberts all in one corner, he was just looking for a hole. This guy doesn't. I don't think he has brakes on his rig at all. I just think he keeps it pegged and just steers the hell out of it.
Anthony, you're talking about?
No, James.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm sure he's got a brake pedal in there, but does he use it? Probably not. So,
I mean, all you hear from his cockpit view is downshift, gas. I mean,
right.
You know, who knows with this guy, but he's sitting in his cockpit watching his wheel, especially when he goes around corners. He makes move. He doesn't do like gradual turning. He goes hard, really quick, really fast, and then he's back straight.
He's a wheel man. I'm watching Tyler Hammond here, running 13th, and he's coming up on Anthony for 12th. So be something to watch on track here.
Yeah, these two have been going at it back and forth, and you know, as Anthony DeMonte got back around him, Tyler Hammond he'll gather his bearings back together and he'll work them back in. I mean, I have full confidence this kid got a great future.
Yeah, for sure. That's one battle to watch. Another battle to watch is Colby Hartung running 8th, and I want to say Nate Biggert running 9th. Nate's coming up on Colby, so another one for position to watch.
Yeah, and these two are experienced, very experienced drivers, and they're both very good. So it'll be cool to watch these two just have at it. The funny thing is though is David Steiner's still ahead of him, and Gene's ahead of him. Looking at the lap times, Steiner's putting a few together that are a little bit faster, and he gained some big times, but he keeps losing time too. So I mean, it's kind of like a stalemate. It's not going to gain too much, but we're just going to have to keep a close eye on him.
You gain some, and then all of a sudden you lose some. It's just a battle of cat and mouse, you know. It's you got to find that in between where you just stay consistent, and it looks like David's doing that. He's up one spot in 7th.
Fine. Lap times. Showing me lap times. Doesn't like me. These guys are rolling, man.
Yeah, you got Mark. I'm sitting here watching Mark Retchen. He's running 14th. I haven't really talked a whole lot about him. He's another one of those drivers. He just, you know, wants to keep it consistent, keep it clean, keep it on track. And, you know, that's a good strategy to have. Just finish the race, you know.
You know, I think I take back my statement. Have you seen Retchen's paint job? That thing's pretty sweet. I mean, a lot of detail. Got chop shop in black, big old chicken or rooster in the back. I don't understand the significance of that, but I'm sure it means something.
I mean, I could say something, but it wouldn't be good for on the air. What the reason for the chicken or the rooster on this car? So I'll just keep that to myself.
So you know the top secret, but no one else does.
I really don't. I'm just going to make an educated guess.
I got you.
But Mark's a funny, good guy. So you know, and you said Chop Shop Racing is on that car. You know, there isn't a car that Mark does not drive that has Chop Shop on there. He's always supporting Chop Shop, and you know, he's one of the admins of the league. So you know, Mark's always out there flying the Chop Shop colors.
Oh yeah, on the back he has parental advisory, explicit content.
Okay, that probably definitely
that car.
Yeah, I'll just be quiet on that.
He's back here sitting in 14th. Hasn't gained a position. Hasn't lost a position. He's just happy where he's at. He does have a Class C license on these road courses, so I'm sure he's still in just the beginning stages, just trying to figure him out.
Yeah. Just, I mean, you got to figure him out. He's doing a good job of it, and you know, he's the type that he just takes his time, stays out of everybody's way, and you know. I'm watching Steven Salas running 4th still in that GTP car. He is really surprising me and doing such a good job. I hope he does well, and he's running 4th right now. So
yeah, we're on board with him right now, and I like comparing these guys' driving styles. You know, you can learn so much just by sitting in the cockpit of one of these cars. Not that I'll ever run one of these because I'll listen, I'd be in the trailer after the first. I wouldn't even make it a lap. I guarantee it. So
No.
it's amazing watching how well these guys could control it and somehow just maintain the lightning speeds that they have.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time keeping it on track as well. I'm glad these guys are driving the cars and not me.
Oh no, I mean, if I was driving this car, I could tell you one thing: there'd be blue and red lights flashing behind me.
See what the motor has. Get the cobwebs out of it.
It's just that if I had the access to it, it'd be like, well, this is one thing I can get away from them in, so I might as well do it. And you know, the
Yeah.
cool thing about these GTPs, the cockpit's in the center, so I mean that has to mess with a guy, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it would be easier to drive a car when you're centered in the car rather than off to the left or the right. But that's just my own personal opinion. Who knows? Maybe it's good for some of these guys. Maybe they prefer it on the left side. Are all these cars? All the GT3s on the left? Isn't it not centered?
Right. So the GT3s are just your regular cars.
Right.
I mean, they're just souped up, obviously. But they're on the left hand side, just like any other car. And you got the prototypes for the GTPs that they're prototypes for a reason, obviously. So they're more aerodynamic, got more power.
Yeah, Colby and Nate are battling pretty good. They're nose to tail. Colby's running 9th, Biggert's running 8th. But those two are neck and neck. It looks like Wesley Straight's going to be done for the day.
Yeah,
Too much damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Obviously tire wear is a thing here, but I'm just going out on a limb and say, the setup just wasn't for him, and maybe he didn't get enough practice, whatever the deal is. But that's my guess. We'll have to get with him later on and find out what was going on. And if you
for sure.
look close, Pierce has lapped the entire field. Striker's down a lap, Sweet's down a lap, Solace is down 2, River 3, McClain. I can't, man, for some reason his name
Clune or something like that. Yeah,
but
yeah.
Gene is in 6th overall, and he's down 4, and then it just goes 5, then 6, then 7. I mean, Pierce is just relentless on letting anybody even stay on the lead lap. I mean, he's a bully out there.
He is good. He's a wheel man. I'll keep saying that. But while you were saying that, I was watching the Nate Biggert and Colby Hartung battle, and it looked like Colby got loose, and he lost a lot of ground there. So Biggert's 8th, and Colby's 9th.
Yeah, he'll keep plucking away, and I mean, if don't blink too quick though, because Michael Caffrey's right on Colby right now. This could be a chain reaction here, and Caffrey smells blood in the water, and he's one of those guys. He'll pounce on it every time.
Yeah, I'm not for sure. I wouldn't put it past Colby if he didn't flat spot his tires when he got loose there or something, because he's losing ground and he's about ready to lose it to Caffrey.
It'll be a sweet battle to watch if I can keep the cameras. I mean, you can see Caffrey just running as deep as he possibly can as they both get on the brakes going through the chicane. I mean, nobody really has an edge between the two. And it looks like Caffrey's just sitting in the wake of Hartung right now in that draft, which is definitely going to help Caffrey out a lot, because you can afford to make a mistake and not lose time being in that draft.
Yeah, watching James Pierce here.
Oh, Colby just spun it on the outside as Caffrey just drives underneath of him. I'm sorry to cut you off like that, but I mean, that was cool.
You're good. So Hartung spun out.
Hartung spun coming out. Let's see. Let's go back. I'll tell you exactly.
Yeah, so I wonder if something went wrong. Like I was saying, something flat spotted his tires or something, and because it looks like he was just falling back, and then there you see it again. He kind of lost control of it. So hopefully he can get that car back under control and possibly even pit and get some tires.
We're going to get in the cockpit. It looks like he just downshifted a smidge too early. And when you do that, it can break the tires free and make you loop it.
That's what happens when you're pushing. You're trying to, try to gain your positions back. Just pushing a little too hard, and he just made an error with downshifting a little too soon.
I mean, and it does happen. I mean, Caffrey was hot on his heels when that happened, and I think he just overdrove it, and he was just trying to get into the corner as fast as he could, and just downshifted a little too early.
Yeah, Tyler Hammond's back up another position. He's 12th now, so he's moving right up.
Man on the mission.
And he's got 11th right in front of him, which is Anthony. So Tyler's moving.
Unfortunately, if you're and here comes Stryker to go around him, and Tyler does the smart move and just stays high and gives Stryker that position. Normally, when you're in these cars, if you got that GTP flying up on you, let him around. It's not worth holding him up because he's going to get impatient. If he gets impatient, he'll get into you, and that's just not good. Not good.
Yeah, for sure. Those GTPs are a lot quicker, like we know. And, they come up behind you. Just let them go around. I mean, don't fight them for it because you could wreck him or yourself.
See, let's check back in with Reverse. He finally has the spoiler back on there. Still sitting in 5th place. But it looks like he has a lot more control of his car going through these corners than he did previously. I'm assuming that it's because he didn't have that spoiler on the back providing that downforce rear wheels.
Yeah, for sure. Was you still wanting to pull him up?
Oh, we can. You want to talk to him?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how the spoiler fell off. And how long he ran without it.
You yell at him when he gets up.
Mm-hmm. Chris, you there? This is Dan in the booth.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, we noticed you didn't have a rear spoiler for the longest time. We didn't see what happened. What happened, and how many laps did you go without it?
I think I was trying to pass Nate there on the hairpin there, and I think he just gave me a love tap, and I was kind of surprised it came off that easy, but the car handled really well for a long time. I didn't use a fast repair. I just in case something else happens. So I'm gonna just stay in there and pretty much get last in GTP anyways.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're in 5th. So the car handled okay without the rear spoiler?
Yeah.
That's very surprising. We thought you had a handful out there, but you're doing good, man, and you got that spoiler back. So see if you can keep your way going to the front.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, it's checkered flag now, though. a little late in there.
We're on the final lap right now.
I'll tell you what, that was quick, dude.
I know. I lost track of time, too. We're going to set you back down there, Robert.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
See, that's what happens when you're just having fun. You're not paying attention. Next thing you know, the race is over. I mean,
yeah, it happens.
Just like that.
So quick up here in the booth how fast these races go by. But it looks like Noah Blackwell went to the trailer too. Not for sure if he finished the race and left, or if something happened to him here at the end. If you could check that out.
I'm not seeing anything pop up dramatically between them. It just says he jumped the pits. Yeah, I'm just guessing he called it.
Okay.
So let's switch gears here and let these guys finish up. We'll go over our official results. You can read through them, and we'll see how this finished off. We'll take a quick little break to get the drivers set for our podium interviews, and then we will be back after the results and after. Let's see. Are we done yet? They're not done yet. They're still going. They're still going hard.
It'll go.
Oh, there it is. All right.
The biggest mover of the race is Bigger.
Bigger, 7 positions. He still came in 3rd, though. I mean, that's kind of heartbreaking if you think about it.
It is. He passed a lot of cars.
Yeah, your finishing results is going to be James Pierce, number 1, Michael Strickland, number 2, in the GTP class. Peyton Sweet will round out top 3. Stefan Salas, number 4, Chris Roberts, 5th. That is the top 5 position for the GTPs. It says 6 on here, folks, but Gene's technically number 1 in the GT3s. David Steiner behind him will round out the top 2 for interviews. Nathan Biggert comes in 3rd, Michael Caffrey 4th, Colby Hartung 5th, Anthony Damani 6th, Tyler Hammond 7th, Mark Gretchen 8th, Noah Blackwell 9th, with Wesley Strait 10th. Technically, Michael Robinson will be 6th for the GT3s.
What a quick race.
The best part about these road courses are they are that fast, just due to the fact that we don't have standing cautions where they have to pace around. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back. We're going to get these guys organized and situated. We'll be back with interviews.
What's this thing?
back, we are going to bring.
That sounds like Ryan Wen. How are you, sir? Well, I was watching his first sector closely, and he was losing some time. But you don't know why just at that point, of course. And so he ran long, and then once he did box, because he ran long, he had a short fill, and I think he didn't take tyres. And I think that was a big difference. He gained a bunch of time there. So when he came back out, he had an extra maybe 8 or 10 seconds. So that was him. He had such a big lead. He was then able to just sort of take it easy. I kept pushing towards the end, but he had such a big gap, it was comfortable for him.
I muted myself by accident. Sorry, David. You can hear me, but they couldn't hear me, so they can hear me now. So fast forward, you're chasing down Gene. He got a big gap, and then he was just pretty comfortable. Did you notice any like incredible tire wear during the race, or a lot of fuel usage?
Fuel usage was on par, and after doing a whole bunch of lead up work throughout the week, so was tyre usage. There were no surprises. They did heat up. What was it? The air temp's 22, but the right side here heats up, and they did today. So they got up to a point where the car started to get a little loose on the left-hand turns. But there was no surprise. I was expecting that, and it wasn't a huge issue. I've experienced worse. It was manageable. It wasn't too bad.
So, I mean, it sounds like you just came in fully prepared anyway, so there was nothing going to stand in your way surprise-wise. I don't know if you heard Stryker's beginning of the race little spiel that he normally does, but he brought up, iRacing bringing rain. Is that something that you're going to look forward to racing just for the experience? Is it something you're a little wheezy about? I mean, give us your thoughts on that.
Oh no, I love it. Bring it on. That's fantastic. That's going to really change this game.
Here we go.
It's going to take a while to download. They got some big changes. It's really it's good to see that our constant subscription fees actually going to something quite big. So enough said on that. But this appears to be one of those things. It's going to be quite big. I look forward to that rain coming. But it's not just from what those developers have said with their releases. It's not just a simple arbitrary, wet weather situation which we've seen in all sims in the past. They've really broken it down, and it's dynamic, and you'll have standing water, pooling water, a track that's beginning to dry, all these things. It should be really good. You have to think about it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I didn't expect that answer from you, to be honest. Me personally, and I'm not big on the road courses, so I mean, obviously I have kind of a biased opinion in that aspect, but like I would not want rain at all. I can't keep it straight and not sideways on a dry track like you guys did today anyways. So that would freak me out, but it sounds awesome that you're excited about it. You're going to have to utilize your windshield wipers, headlights. I think it'd be really cool if we had an upcoming race at nighttime with, just a downpour.
Yeah, absolutely. And also from the broadcast and viewer perspective, it's going to be, there'll be so many different evolving race strat scenarios going on with the changing weather, and that should be really good to watch. I look forward to it. Some of the races on the calendar too, it's almost unrealistic that they are dry, because some of these places, and I mean, for example, Spa in Belgium, the Nürburgring, even Japan at Suzuka, it's almost there's a high probability every time you're going to get some rain there in places like that. So yeah, bring it on. It's going to be good. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and it's going to also bring on fantastic broadcasting on our part, obviously, because I'll be honest, this wasn't the most exciting race I think we've ever seen. A lot of people just kind of fell in line, and that could just been, a downfall of, the setups were so identical between the drivers. There's a lot that comes into play, but we look forward to it. So next week we got a crown race coming up at Daytona. What are your thoughts going into next week?
Yeah, right. That'll be good too. Look, I've done a couple of races at Daytona now, so I think I've done 2 races there. One of those was Chop Shot last year in this league. I've done one more, so I'm feeling a little more comfortable than I did last year. I know that it's home territory for some of these drivers here, particularly Colby and Wes and Nate. They put in a bunch of time here or there in Daytona, particularly with the enduros, the 24 hours. So they've got an advantage. So, but again, I'm a bit more comfortable there now, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not sure if it's at night. Is it a night race? I'm not sure. I didn't check that, but I hope so.
I all I can see, I'm just at a quick glance, it's a crown jewel race. It's 90 minutes long. It doesn't give the time. You'd have to look in the weather details to find out, what the time period is. But it's good. It's always good as a driver coming into a race that, maybe the previous year was their first time there, but I mean, just doing one race at one track, you end up learning so much to give you that confidence, to do it again. So we very much look forward to seeing what you do there.
Yeah, and you can build up you improve upon the data that you build up, the knowledge of your own car, your own setup, and things like that too. So yeah, each time you go there, again, save a bit of time. You're a little quicker. So yeah, it should be good.
Church, what do you got for him, bud?
David. Good race, man. Good race.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.
Like I said in the broadcast, you're one to watch and to keep an eye on, man. I know last season you were running up front and doing well. You've got this road racing down. So it'll be fun watching you over the season. The thing of it is you're saying now that you feel more comfortable now than you did last year. So you're really going to be able to one to watch. I mean, if you're feeling more, and you did great last year. What did you finish in the standings last year?
Well, I would say the overall round, I was probably second on points overall to James.
Yeah,
and then, of course, with the playoff system, I went into Brazil in the last round and I suffered a bit there. I just couldn't keep those tires cool. And
yeah,
really
for sure.
And I think I ended up maybe fourth there from memory. I think it was maybe James, Dominic, Nate, and then myself, I think. Something like that.
I remember last year. Anyway, you were running up front majority of the time. You're running with James and Biggert and Strickland and everything like that. So feeling more comfortable this year, you're going to be definitely one to watch because, I mean, if you're more comfortable,
Yeah. And I think some of those tracks last season were a first-time visit to those tracks too. So that's no excuse for the mistakes that I made, and I made a couple last year. In fact, I made one last weekend, which I'm sorry for. I made a mistake last week there at Sebring, and I looked off screen just for 2 seconds to do something really quick, and looked back up, and bang, I just hit the back of the Noah. So yeah, this season it's about that. It's being more comfortable. It's eliminating those mistakes as much as possible. I think I did that today. I picked up an X. I was hoping to get through clean, but after Mick Caffrey had that spin, it threw me off a bit. And I picked up an X, and it happens. But aside from that, I achieved what I wanted to, which is a mistake-free, clean race, that's the goal.
For sure, man. Yeah, you got to keep your eyes on the road at all times. But good race, buddy. Good race. We'll see you next week and see what you got.
Good on you. Thanks, Churchy.
I just wanted to. How do you pronounce your last name correctly? We've been butchering it. Is it Steiner?
It is. Yeah. A German version would be Steiner, but the Aussie version, Steiner. That's good.
Steiner. Yeah. I like it clean cut. You got anybody you want to thank at home? Now's the time. You there? David, you there?
You there, David?
He must have some technical difficulties.
Not sure if you can hear me. I've lost you there,
there he is.
fellas.
There he is. Can you hear us just fine? We're having some difficulties. We're going to set him on down. David Steiner, P2 finished tonight in the GT3s. We'll let him get his microphone and everything worked out. We got Caffrey down there. Let's drag up Caffrey. Let's keep the Australians going, all right? Mr. Caffrey, how you doing tonight, sir?
What's going on, fellas? Good to be up in the booth to have a chat to you guys. I wasn't in the top three, but hey, look, so it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, you got a P4 finish tonight, and obviously, you were in the mix for the top two all night, which does not surprise me or Church at all, I don't think. And we had one Aussie up here. We figured, the other one's down there. We got to get two perspectives. He had some little technical difficulties there at the end, but he was saying that you and him got into it. What happened there?
No, it was just a momentary lapse of concentration. It was turn one. Yet I was chatting to Dave, and that's all it was. We were probably chatting too much, and literally a lapse of concentration going to turn one. I was slightly late on the brakes, and and just sort of lost that front end and clipped one of those big ripple strips on the inside, and then I was into that kitty litter out in the pebbles, and I just couldn't get out of it. And I could see Nate and Colby coming. I was like, "Come on!" But yeah, it was all right. And then I had a bit of a battle with with Colby down the back there once I caught back up.
Yeah, well, and Colby had his hands full with you guys tonight. It seemed like. I mean, the guy would pass one of you, then he'd get passed again. It was just. I watched him overdrive a couple corners where he spun out, or at least one. I can't say a couple. And then David said that, so we had to kind of chime in. We didn't know if we should expect some inner civil war over in Australia after this race or not. So we had to double check the other side of the fence there.
No, not at all. Like Dave and I, we're in the same team, Dominate Racing team, and we were just chatting. I normally, for these ones here, I need to concentrate. It's like we were speaking about the fuel strategy. We're actually speaking about the fuel strategy that who was in the lead there? P1 in the Porsche anyway. He gained about 10 seconds. Yeah, he gained about 10 seconds. I changed tyres, he didn't, and he got about 10 seconds on us. So I'm on to that for the next one, but all good. That's what it was. It was just I was literally just chilling in P2. I thought I had a lock, but how easily it can come undone. It's always great to come up in the booth and chat to you yourself, Rob and Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're one of my favorite guys to even chat to. One of the few guys that you always go out of your way, just to see how I did in races. And I mean, that says a lot about a guy's character. One of the things we noticed a lot is a lot of people were pitting, and we didn't know if it was tires, if it was fuel. I mean, did you notice any difference in your car tire wear wise?
To be honest, Ryan, I could have gone the whole race on the one set of tyres. I knew what the tyres wear was. I changed tyres, but I actually, to be honest, I actually thought it was a time thing, and I didn't actually practice any of that sort of stuff. And I now know that he gained time through not changing tyres and just dumping it short, stopping it. Because we were holding him to about we're holding P1 to about maybe 3-4 seconds, and he might have got a little bit away at the end, but I should have pushed a bit harder at the start. Who knows? But he did have a big fuel load on, so that was probably why I was holding on to him at the start, because him and Dave were definitely had a bit of pace on us with that qualifying session.
So 2 more questions for you before I let you have Church, drill you with questions. Stryker, gave his pre-race narrative, and was bringing up, we're going to bring rain in as soon as, we get it tested and everything. What are your thoughts on it? You excited for it? You're not excited for it?
Holy dooly! That's certainly gonna add another element into it. It'll be exciting. I just don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the rain plays out. I am looking forward to it. I have raced. I think ACC. Maybe I think it had rain, or I have raced in other sims that have had rain. So I have done a little bit, but not. It's definitely going to throw a spanner in the works with pit strategies. If it's a short shower, if you go in and get new tires or wet tires and come back out, yeah, it's going to mix things right up.
And I asked David the same question. I'm going to ask everybody the same question, obviously, when it comes to the rain, because it's such a unique feature that they're adding that obviously everybody wants, but some people dread, others don't. And David was just stone cold about it. He's like, yep, been waiting for it a long time, pretty excited for it. And that's about it. But, listening to you, it's almost like a nervous excited,
Yeah, look, like Dave loves it. He really loves it, and it's going to be interesting to see it. Yeah, he has been waiting for it for a long time. I'm just going to be interested to see how it plays out. It's going to be slippery, trying to find that bit of a groove as it wears in. The dry line or whatever. However it actually plays out. We're just going to have to do some laps to find out how it actually works. So it'll definitely be interesting. Yeah, you'll be apprehensive on there because you don't want to just slip off the track. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Daytona next week. It's Crown Jewel race. It's a 90-minute race. What's your thoughts going into it? What's the game plan, Caffrey? How are you going to get that 77 machine in first place?
Well, hey, look, we always have a go. We'll wait and see. I know there's some fast guys in here, especially around Daytona, and a bunch of the guys just did that. I think it was a 12-hour, was it, or 24-hour? I can't remember. Maybe 12 hours. Yeah, they just did that race, so I know a bunch of them did that. So they got a lot of seat time on Daytona. I haven't probably done that amount of time, but I'm always in there with a shot. I have done a couple of races at Daytona, and I know areas on the track where I'm weak, so I'll practice those areas and make sure that the car it's ready. It's ready for Daytona. I am looking forward to Daytona. I love it, and the Merc should go right. It's got those down those long straights. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, especially when you come up, onto the oval part of the track and then dip that back down. It was a 24-hour Daytona, and I watched those guys, and they make up so much ground. And the GTPs seem to really gang everything there, but if they caught you coming back into the road course portion, it could wreak havoc really quick. So obviously, I think that's definitely going to be a hot spot coming into next week to really pay attention to.
Oh, for sure. And I love the bus stop. The bus stop's great. It adds that little dimension in there, whether you're going to go on the brakes or if you're just going to stick in the behind the freight train and try and get him on the straight. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Definitely interesting.
Church, what do you got for him, brother?
Once again, my favorite Australian. Good job, buddy. Like always. You're always consistent. That was probably some of the funnest racing, the battles between you, Colby, and Nate all race long. It was fun to watch. You were saying you drive the Mercedes. That's funny you say that because the lap record at IMOLA here is done by a Mercedes, and that was back in 2020. I'm not sure if you know Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, Lewis. There we go. No, I didn't. I actually didn't know that. Yeah. I think I did see something about the Merc having but I don't know what the time was.
Yeah, 115.484. Yeah, that's flying.
Yes.
But no, anyway, good race, man. Like always, you're consistent. If you fall back, we're always seeing you go right back towards the front. Daytona next week is going to be fun. It'll be fun to watch you. I really don't have much for you, man, but good race.
Hey, thanks, Churchy. I guess, yeah. Look, as we already spoke about. It was literally a small lapse in concentration. Would have loved to have stuck that P2 up on the, been up on the podium again, and just bank those points, because I know we got Nate and Dave. They're serious challenges. So this was it was pretty much like a little, a free gift to me when Dave got up to the back of me and I was just holding him off at, a second or two. We stayed about that same time, distance from me the whole race really, and I thought I had it, but just lapse of concentration. On to next week. Can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. Those GT3s are really fun to watch. There's going to be a lot of good battling this year. Hopefully we can get the GTPs to do the same.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Churchy. Thanks, Ryan. And obviously I wasn't on the podium, but hey, had a great race. Just like to say thanks to Virtual Velocity Racing, Ryan, Churchy. Thanks a lot for yourselves. Chopping it up. Thanks a lot. And everyone else that was racing today. I had a great, I didn't have any dramas with anyone coming around. I thought everyone was pretty respectful with track position and awareness. So I had a great race. Thanks, fellas.
That's one person you need to put on the podcast right there, right?
Listen, man. I've been trying to get Caffrey on there, and the guy's pretty resilient right now. But maybe one.
There you go.
All right.
Soon, Ryan. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Caffrey, P4 finisher in the GT3s. Let's work on Mr. Pierce, this magician. Mr. Pierce.
Oh.
I have a feeling you're going to be sitting in this room a lot with us.
Hello.
I think I've got a perfect nickname for you. We're going to start calling you ET because you are an alien out there.
Oh, I'll take it.
Out of this world fast, blazing speeds. Did you have any concerns once you started gapping Striker in second place?
It was just more so just focus on keeping the X's to a minimum. Gotten in trouble a couple times around here. In my long time on the sim, that the X's could come if you don't focus on it. So that was really my concern, was making sure that minimize mistakes in terms of those small ones and just keeping the nose clean and just driving my race and focus on hitting laps and getting better.
Well, speaking of keeping the nose clean, we did catch your corner where you hit one of your fellow GTP cars. I believe it was Solace or Sweet. I couldn't remember. But it looks like you just tapped him a little bit, and then a few laps later we seen you go in the pits. Were you in there getting that damage repaired and just feeling her back up?
Surprisingly, no, it was just a natural pit cycle on that one. But surprisingly, I had no damage from it. Got nothing in terms of downforce loss or any of that. But yeah, no, that was unfortunate. It saw him turn in pretty early and he hit the inside curb, and I think he tried to turn inside after the corner and slow a little bit to let me by, but I didn't anticipate it, that move. So I wasn't able to lift on the throttle enough to avoid the incident. So feel bad about that one. Good intentions to let me by, but I feel bad on that one because I didn't expect that to happen in front of me.
And one of the things we noticed when we're broadcasting is and that you can correct us if you're wrong, but it looks like, it almost looks like, since you're so fast, it looks like you're driving super aggressive, which it looks aggressive to us. It probably doesn't feel aggressive to you. But it looks like you put that car in some dangerous spots a lot, and it's shocking that you make it through half the time. What's your thought process when you're coming up on two cars in one corner? The second you see a hole, are you mashing the gas and going, or is that just like calm for you?
Yeah, after the years, it's kind of just calm for that one, and especially with most of I did guess the driving a GT3 for quite a bit too. I have the same idea that if I'm the GT3 guy, I'd rather have the GTP be pretty, if the move's gonna happen, be pretty certain with it. So that's what I typically try and do is if there's a passing opportunity and it's not a dangerous situation and for the cars involved, then I'm gonna commit to it 100% because typically the incidents come from either indecisiveness or indecision or a slight weight on that. So that's usually what I try to do is make sure I commit to whatever I'm going to do in that situation, weigh the options. But especially with the two cars coming into that hairpin, it was more so that we're both going to pass the GT3 by the time we get to the corner and just follow the other GP through. But in that case, he kind of let me through. So it was was kind of a case on both ends that kind of helped it. But most of the times it's just making sure that I stick to what I'm gonna do in there and make it predictable. You know, if I look like I'm gonna make a move, I'm gonna make a move so the GT3 kind of gets a idea of what's gonna happen because it's that indecisiveness that can really ruin my race and another car's race, and I certainly want to do that.
You know, and I think that's good advice for anybody that's ever thinking about running a GTP with the GT3s. If you're going to take a hole, and you know that way the GT3 guy's not looking in his rearview mirror wondering, you know, if you're going to make that move. It's best just to show them that you're going to. So that's awesome insight for that. Did you being ahead that far, and obviously, you know, no one was going to beat you unless you beat yourself. I mean, did you take anything away from the race? Did you learn anything, or is it something like, yeah, I know it already, it's not a big
Oh, certainly. I mean, I'm I'm not on Williams esports team, so obviously there's a lot to learn still. So, especially with time in the car, it's just making sure I push myself, like get a little bit better on that, making sure that I there's certain things that I'm always working on when I get in the car. Especially this last week, I had a couple things that I wanted to work on. So, make sure I focused on that when I was doing my laps and keeping it clean for everybody else, but making sure that I get some time in the sim and working on my technique on that. So, there's always something to improve on that, and if there wasn't anything to improve on, then obviously I don't think I'd be here. I think I'd be I think I'd be in a real car. So other than that, no, I think that you always should come in with a goal, because if you're coming in and just having, it's cool to have fun and just kind of chill it out, but it's always a good motivator and a good attention poker for you if you could just have something that that you need to work on and try and achieve it throughout the race, especially if it's just a practice session. Make sure you have a goal in mind, and if you don't achieve it, that's fine, but make sure you have something to aim for. Otherwise, life can get pretty boring.
You know, and I this has been my favorite question all night because everybody always gives like excitement slash nervousness. I mean, I've seen, you know, with the two Aussies, two different answers. Striker's pre-race narrative, you know, he's mentioning iRacing bringing rain into the sim, and obviously we're going to implement that as soon as we can. What what are the thoughts going into that, knowing there's going to be a track somewhere that it could be a mist, a torrential downpour? Like, how are you going to change up your driving style because it's going to be new for everybody?
I'm absolutely excited because racing VEC and R Factor 2, those wet weather races are usually the most fun, and usually those are the ones that really brings out the suck and the effort that you have to bring into them. So I'm looking forward. I hope. I honestly wish every race would be wet. I hope he tortures us quite a bit, because that stuff's. I think it's some of the best racing you can get, because it really is a battle, and especially the different lines you have to take. It's a different process. So for people who haven't had to do wet weather racing before, it's gonna be a very big test, because certain things that you've learned your whole life driving on dry iRacing is gonna change, because it doesn't work when you get into the wet. The dry line is not the same as the wet line. So stuff like that, I'm excited for it. I hope he tortures us. I hope we have quite a few races in the rain, because I love that stuff. That's honestly, when I get on and don't have anything to do, I boot up R Factor 2, put a rain session at Monaco, and drive whatever the hell I want, and kill myself a couple times because it's obviously hard. But man, wet weather racing is some of the purest fun you can have. So I'm excited. I hope he kills us with it.
You know, and it's awesome that you say that because you seem like the kind of guy that just strives off of, struggling to figure something out just to figure it out. So, I mean, if we were to throw rain out there and you just start spinning every corner, I mean, that's just challenging for you to end up figuring that out, and you just, you just get jazzed for that, right?
Absolutely. If there's a chat, I love it. Same thing with like schoolwork, anything. I always love having a stressor in there. So anything like that, I may suck at it. Of course it's going to be different. High racing might handle it completely different from R Factor 2, but hopefully my experience there will help me a little bit. But if I do suck at it, it's going to be a fun one, because that's that'll be a big differ for drivers nowadays. Like iRating might take a dip for quite a few people because they're not going to be able to adapt to the rain. So I think it's going to be a new challenge for everybody. And I think that's going to be a cool piece to work on as a driver and see if I can take advantage of it, because hopefully my experience will help me through it. And hopefully it's not as bad as a lot of people are saying. So I look forward to the suck on it. I know it's not going to be easy, but hey, it's going to be good to try something new on iRacing. It's been a long time since joining in 2010. Something this big hasn't happened in a long time besides Rallycross.
Yeah, so and next week we're going into Daytona, which is a crown jewel race. It's going to be 90 minutes long. What's what's the game plan going into that? Are you just world domination as always?
Hopefully I do well at winning the Daytona 24 last year. Not so much this year, but hopefully I've got high expectations for that race. That's one that my team, my previous teams have done incredibly well. We've always been in the hunt for a win every time we've ever loaded into that special event. So I'm looking forward to it. I've loved that track, and especially being on pace with some high splits this Daytona in the GTPs. I'm looking forward to putting some laps down and absolutely crushing it.
Church, what do you got for him?
James, I really don't have a whole lot, man, besides another week, another win. You're 2-0. The only thing I could really think of is I don't even think the rain's going to be able to slow you down. You're just so good. And watching you weave through the lap traffic, man, it's unbelievable. You're a lot of fun to watch. And I'm really excited to watch you throughout the season and see how you do.
Thank you, brother. Looking forward to that rain too. I think it's gonna be hey man, if I do suck, it's gonna be a good fun to watch. I guarantee on that stream when I smack that wall going hard.
I'm hoping there wasn't really any much of fun track facts or breaking news this race. I mean, it is Italy. Not a whole lot and fun to say. So I'm pretty sure I didn't really mess you up there today.
No, there's a couple that were pretty funny. I'll give you that. The Burka Hotel was an interesting one going into the race. But no, yeah, a couple interesting facts. I always tune in on the stream watching it. So we were all I was calling the boy who cried wolf on the everyone getting called into the booth for in-race streams. I was warning people, hey, you're coming in. So whenever that happened, that was funny. I was making sure Colby Hartung, I was like, make sure you ain't saying anything stupid in the next 30 seconds because you're gonna be getting in there.
Nah, good race, man. Dominant. Like you said, it sounded like Daytona. You've got a pretty good grasp on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I did upwards of 1,000 laps there before the prep for the Daytona 24. So a lot of experience there. So hopefully it translates.
Excited to see it, buddy. Ryan?
Yeah, James, give your thanks, brother.
Of course, 212. They've been a great home for me since my old team kind of died off. So thank for them for pulling me in and making sure I've got somewhere to race with, and especially just making it a family out there, and especially to Chop Shop and Core Racing as well. I've kind of transitioned into their little ecosystem, and they've got me keep racing every day. So I want to thank them as well as you guys. You guys make it a good sport for all of us, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys in the league for putting on a good show and something to watch afterwards. So I think we all have enjoyment on watching either the quick facts or the breaking news segment from Fox News that goes on on these races. So thank you all for everything you guys do. You guys do put on a great show, and we all enjoy everything you guys do in there.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's obviously something to grow into, something, hopefully something pretty spectacular. So we look forward to it. We look forward to seeing Mr. James Pierce, P1 finisher tonight here in IMOLA. And we'll see you at Daytona, sir.
Thank you guys. See ya.
Mr. Striker is last but not least. Mr. Striker, if it isn't my favorite car in the whole race, just because of that cool teal color. How you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Ryan?
Oh, we're just sitting here watching the show. We've seen a lot of people struggle tonight. Did you struggle at all with anything? I mean, obviously James Pierce is a freak of nature. It's hard to keep up with him. Hard to even pass the guy. What were your thoughts? I mean, was there a setup issue? Just not used to the track? I mean, did it ever come around to you later on? What was the deal?
I was more in kind of a country cruise mode. I was just managing the gap between second and third. James is just in another stratosphere today. I was hoping to be able to compete today with him, but as soon as he started taking off, it was more so a race to survive. Just keep it clean. Don't destroy the car. Last week I had an engine failure, so I had that in the back of the mind the entire race. I was hoping not to money shift it or something go wrong with the motor this week, but she lasted. We kept the incidents down. We kept it on the track, and we came home, second in our class. Not too shabby. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys in here, and I think they must have ended up struggling a little bit more than I did. But all in all, it was a good race.
Yeah, I mean, you and James pretty much took off from from the rest of the guys. I mean, you and Peyton were putting on some similar lap times. And I mean, Pierce was only, 2 seconds quicker, roughly. I mean, he wasn't insanely fast, but I mean, he's fast, obviously. So, I mean, you didn't do as bad as what you probably thought you'd. I'm not even gonna say you did bad because I couldn't even get second. We all know that. But you worked with what you had, obviously. I mean, did you have any pit strategies that worked in your favor, didn't work in your favor? Tire wear. I mean, anything of a weird issue that you noticed?
I never was able to push the cars to its edge. When you pulled me into the booth earlier, I told you I started with a full fuel load, and I didn't practice too much on that full fuel load. I just didn't have a ton of time this week to do it. So when I actually ran it, the car was handling totally different. So I backed it down, just trying to keep it on the track. And I was hoping as I burnt off that fuel load, I'd start to get faster, but I didn't. I mean, I just kind of stuck where I was at. Obviously, it was the line that I was driving, and it was just the mechanics that I was working with. They weren't there today as far as to have those fast lap times and feel comfortable, but it was good enough to where I can just keep it on the track, and lucky enough to where the other guys struggled. Passing lap traffic was difficult at this track. It wasn't very easy. I was trying to be patient with all the guys, knowing that I had a little gap there, but they probably got slowed down behind me, passing some cars. But all in all, the car worked well. I'm happy. I'm happy for a second. Second is good. As the weeks progress, I should be able to put up a better show. We don't want James just walking the dog on us week in and week out. So we'll make sure we put in extra effort, hire a new engine builder, and make sure that we got a little extra there for him at Daytona. I think is where we're going next week.
Yeah, next week. Let's stay on that. Daytona. It's a crown jewel race and it's 90 minutes. And I know you did the 24-hour Daytona, so you have seat time. You know the track. Different car. How are you going to adjust with that?
It's I guess the biggest thing is obviously the speed, the passing zones. I did the 24 with a couple of guys here at Chop Shop, but we did it in the GT3. We ended up doing it in the BMW, and the car handles phenomenally. It's not the fastest, but it runs really good. So the GTP is going to be a learning curve. It's not as steep as not running the 24, so I should at least have some decent pace there. But I mean, to be honest with you, anybody that's run the 24 is going to be fast there. So I expect James to be phenomenal there. I expect everybody to be fast. So I'm just going to have to up my game, make sure I come out with a strong setup, practice throughout the week, and at least put pressure on him where he just doesn't get to kick back and just cruise all race. We got to get him to the point where he's going to make a mistake or get flustered if we're around him. At minimum, I got to at least scare him like I'm going to, that I might not make the turn or something. I got to get him flustered. So we're going to try that at Daytona.
Well, if anybody can do it, I think you can do it. And the reason I say that is because you obviously have some nicknames here at Chop Shop. We got, the Delegator, we got the Backdoor Dealer, and we also got the Dragon Slayer, taking down Andrew Payne back in the day. So, I mean, if anybody can get Pierce, I believe it's you.
Pierce, I appreciate the kind words, and those are all nicknames that I've earned at one point or another. I'm most proud about the Dragon Slayer one. That one was pretty cool.
That's the one that got the golden chain, huh?
Yeah, this dragon, this is one mighty dragon. So we're gonna have to have a huge sword to slay this one. So it's just gonna take seat time. I preach that seat time. Just pushing it to the limit. I generally get complacent when I get out there. I'd rather bring it home than wreck it, and I just got to get out of that mindset. I just gotta push hard all race because James does. I mean, he's just zipping through lap traffic. I'm far more patient with everybody. I just got to watch him a little bit longer, seat time, and then we'll be able to get there eventually.
And we're trying to help you. I keep going to his in-car so you can see what cheat codes he's using. but he doesn't ever have them on a display.
He is the cheat code.
I think so. The guy's an alien of freaking nature, and he's out of this world. So it's cool to watch him drive, but it's cool to watch you guys progress around him, because I know how I am, and I know how 90% of the drivers are in the world. When you race against better people, it just makes you that much better. So it works both ways.
Yeah, he's the benchmark, right? That's the key. You know,
Right.
he's in this series. He's the benchmark. So that's something we all gonna strive to achieve, whether we do it this race or this season or next season. You know, it's something that we can strive for and get there. If he's not laying down these fast laps, and he's 2-3 seconds faster than us, then we're never gonna know that that's the speed that we need to be at. So, he's the standard. You know, he's the Mahomes of this of the GTP class. So we're gonna see if we can't take him down soon enough.
Yeah. One of the things I want to touch base on, because I'm asking everybody your pre-race narrative about the rain coming in iRacing. Seems like there's a lot of guys super excited for it. Caffrey seemed to be excited with a little nervous. How are you feeling about it coming in? Because you're going to be the one implementing.
We're gonna play. We're gonna play with the weather system, and figure out what it can and cannot do. It's gonna take a lot of testing, but we did promise the guys at minimum we're gonna have 3 moist. We call them moist tracks. So either moisture in the air, a little water drizzle on the track. We might start one of the first tracks with a small drizzle, and progressively move into a downpour. So we're just going to play around with it. I'm excited. It's something I've been excited about for a while. Graphically, I like visual stuff. So I've played a couple of games where I'll just load in rain and have it downpour, and it's just so much fun trying to run around other cars around rain. It's definitely going to be complex and complicated. You're going to have a lot of tempers flare, but all in all, it's just going to be for fun. And let's see what pans out. It might be, I don't think it's a gimmick. I think iRacing probably released it at the proper time once they feel it's a refined weather system. So, I'm excited to see what it has. I'm anxious to see how the drivers race around in the water, and I think it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, we talked to David Steiner about it. Obviously, him being I don't think Aussies are scared of anything personally. I just don't think they're bred like that. But he's saying let's make it a night race with torrential downpour. I mean, that guy is all for it. So it'll be interesting to see what we bring into the system here.
Yeah, we will do our best to try to implement it where it's at least we can keep the cars on the track. We're going to test all week, prior to implementing anything. We'll obviously have some practice sessions, so everybody come out and have some fun with it. And we figure out what best works, what doesn't work, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I expect it to be awesome visually and definitely more exciting, and not what we're used to, I guess. It's not what we're used to. We're used to running on these dry pavements, dry surfaces where we can take it in deep. That's not going to work in the rain. So there's going to be a lot of changing of the physical way that you drive and operate a car. So it's definitely exciting.
Kurtz, what you got for him?
Riker, P2 finish, man, good job. Ryan hit it on the head too. If there's one person out there that could beat Pierce, it would be you. One question I was going to ask Pierce, and I forgot to do it, so I'll ask you, is I noticed a majority of the field was dipping their about every corner, it seemed like, dipping their tires off in the grass. Or to me, I thought it looked like they were overshooting a corner or something, just a little too much, but it seemed like it was normal. Was that the driving line, or is there a benefit to it? Or
Yeah, definitely arcing the car out and maintaining momentum. As long as if the grass or the dirt, the gravel or the curb or the sausage doesn't slow you down, and you're not getting an X out of it, and in some cases they'll take an X. Usually you'll just hold more speed. So that's the key in these types of races. Those that know each crevice of every turn and how to take it where you can get 1 or 2 extra miles an hour every turn. Over an hour, obviously that's going to be huge. It pays huge dividends. As you can see, some of these top guys, that's what they'll do, consistently. You're going to have some guys that are going to struggle and they're just searching. But for the most part, the guys that are doing it consistently, it's because they figured out that's the fastest way around.
Yeah, it keeps the tires cooler, doesn't it?
That's what they say. I mean, I'm too much of a scaredy cat to dip it in the dirt. I mean, in the dirt or grass, because at this point, car control is probably the number one thing for me. So I try to keep it on the curbs or right underneath the curb. I do my best, but I know I'm giving up some speed by not, arcing it out or taking these lanes that these other guys are. But generally, if you do get into the grass or dirt, what it's doing is it's get the tire off of the asphalt and the road surface, and it does cool it down if you're on there long enough. I don't think if you arc it out there and just touch one or two blades of grass, every other turn, it's going to really help. But it could. I mean, if you're on it long enough.
Yeah, it was crazy to me watching it because most of the field was doing it. So I was like, there has to be a method to the madness here. They're just not overdriving it, but that answered my question. So it helps arc the car more. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's just trying to arc it as much as they can out of it.
Daytona, right? You guys were talking about that. I think this is going to be a really good race to watch because if anybody's done any road, they've done it at Daytona. So they're going to have experience at Daytona. So I really think it's going to be a good race. Excited to see what you can do next week against James, along with everybody else, because it's Daytona and everybody's got a little bit of experience there.
Yeah, it should put up one of our better performances since most people are familiar with the track. A lot of these guys at these like a track like tonight, they don't have as much seat time as they do at Daytona. Daytona, I wouldn't call it a cookie cutter track, but it's a track that a lot of these guys look forward to. They've run it in multiple series in endurance events, so they've laid down tons and tons of laps there. It's going to be fun. You get to take these road cars on the high banks at Daytona, so that's always fun. We're going to be doing a night to day transition versus the normal day to night transition, so it should be a little bit different. All in all, it's going to be an awesome event. Make sure to check it out and have some cool breaking news and track facts.
Yeah, this track in Italy, for track facts, it really didn't have a whole lot of interesting facts about the track. So we were talking about hotels again. Hotels is a big deal to me. Near the close to the track or on the track or on the corner of a track. There was a Hooters. Well, I called it Hooters. Restaurant on the outside of one of the corners, but I mean, there wasn't a whole bunch of facts to go with. Breaking news, wasn't a whole bunch there, but Daytona, I'll really get some research. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of facts on that.
I know you're going to do a good job. You guys always do a great job.
But that's all I've got, man. Keep doing what you're doing. P2, you're still on the hunt. We're excited to see what next week will bring, right?
Striker, give your thanks, buddy.
All right, for those that are still watching out here, we want to make sure we thank our main sponsor for the series, Virtual Velocity Racing. Tim Lee helped us put this road program together. We're very appreciative of that. If anybody's ever interested in reaching out to these guys, the Facebook contact information will be listed on our broadcast. They're a great group of guys, and they run multiple series, as Ryan's probably mentioned. It's definitely something worth a look at if you guys aren't actively running somewhere else. I just want to thank everybody in the Chop Shop community, Chop TV, Ryan and Church. You guys do a phenomenal job. Every single day, you guys are getting better. We appreciate everything that you do. And Baller Status Boys, everybody that ever helped us, all of our sponsors, we thank you very much for all your love and support. And any fans and family that are out there rooting us, we want to make sure we give you a big shout out. And last but not least, Jason at Signature Esports. I don't think he was broadcasting this Wednesday, but we want to give him a shout out as well. If you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe and like both streams. So we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, Striker, for the good performance. P2 finish for Michael Strickland. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Ryan, I think one quick thing before we go. We were just talking about it. We can't give a big enough thanks to, VVR and Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. We couldn't do half the stuff we do without our sponsors. Virtual Velocity Racing obviously plays a huge factor. Even though we have a somewhat small field, which is going to continuously grow. We didn't have the other Caffrey here tonight. Maybe he had to work, whatever the deal is. But all in all, even with a small field, these guys are still here turning out for us. They run every Thursday night. They do next gen series. They might even do even more series than that. I'll have to get with Tim myself and just see what their schedule looks like. But if you guys are interested, look in the description below on this broadcast. Their Facebook links there. Just click the join button. They accept everybody that I know of, anyways, and they have a huge next gen field. So again, thanks to Virtual Velocity Racing. Thanks to all our sponsors. Stryker pretty much nailed them all. And yeah, that's about it. Sorry, I'm coughing here. But that's about it. We look forward next week going to Daytona. That's going to be February 21st. They're going to start practicing about 7:30, and they'll be gridding by 8:30. So stay tuned for that video. Me and Churchy are getting out of here. We're going to duck on off. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but if you do, take pictures. And everybody
have a good one.
Have a good night and a happy Valentine's Day. We didn't mention that, but have a happy Valentine's Day. Kiss your old lady goodnight. Give her some flowers. Wake up and get back to the grind. We'll see you guys all next week at Daytona.